but I have a lot of bruises. My ankle is swollen. That's one of my bruises. They had this healing chain. We couldn't go through it. We wanted to leave the building. We were told that we should go in a group. We were told to hide our name tag, our green tag, so that they wouldn't, single us out. But when we tried to come out of the door, they were right there, and they wouldn't let us go. They would let us come out of the door, but they wouldn't let us go down the stairs. And it got more and more crowded as more people came out. And they were squeezing back, and people were squeezing from coming out of the door. And then all of a sudden, this one person dropped her arms. There was a space, and I went flying through it. So, and landed at the bottom of the stairs. At first, I didn't think anything. I thought, that was pretty easy. It didn't hurt me at all. And then, afterwards, I started feeling the effects of it. And we walked back to the hotel, and I became concerned because I had a big knot on my head over here, and I had a nosebleed, and I wasn't hit on my nose, so I thought, maybe it was some sort of internal head injury, so I thought we were going to call the doctor, and he said, go to the emergency room. So we went to the emergency room, and they took a CAT scan, and they took x-rays of my ankles. I got a big bruise, and this is all swollen on my ankle here. That's the reason I didn't come this morning, and I thought probably maybe I shouldn't have come this afternoon because, it's really difficult to walk. It's painful. And I don't know, I just feel like I've done about 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali, gotten knocked around.
Right. And essentially you were coming to a banquet to honor Ronald Reagan.
Yes, we were having the gala night, and I was dressed in black pants. And sandals that had just little heels on them, but not very much. And they were well-fitted sandals, so I wasn't slipping because of my shoes. I don't know how to get that idea. I went down the stairs because I was pushed.
So this was purely the result of, from what you experienced, a purposeful push, a purposeful act to get you down the stairs, falling.
I don't know, I think they didn't single me out necessarily. They wanted all of us to go, crashing. I think they didn't care who it was as long as they could show us their anger and their venom.
What was the feeling that you sensed in the air from these Occupy protesters?
Well, before I was injured, I felt as though, you sweet little children, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how bad it can get. Why don't you just go home and find another game? That's kind of the way I was feeling. And then afterwards, I realized that they're very dangerous. They might look young, they might look sweet, and they can hurt you. No, I didn't feel singled out. I didn't. I think that only because, the fact that I was at this conference singled me out. But, there were other people there too, and nobody was, I think it didn't matter to them who they attacked, as long as they got somebody. They said something about evil corporations. You're with the evil corporations, which is as far from the truth as anything could be. They didn't know me and what I do, and
So you believe they were making assumptions, or
yes, they were
lumping you in with?
They were prejudiced. They saw somebody of my age range, and not, cutting up, not, being ridiculous, and they said, that's the enemy.
Yeah, I got pushed down the stairs too, and I sort of injured my shoulder hit. So I went and got an x-ray in the hospital. Everything was broken, but it was...
Well, the steps were concrete, and so was the sidewalk.
You're right, the concrete. They couldn't see the steps. They were arm in arm. their arms around the lock so you couldn't get past them. We lost our people pushing from behind, and then the line broke, and the people pushed right through them, but I didn't see there was a big drop of the stairs, so I just kind of fell down the stairs. And then when I got to the bottom, I saw Dodie was already down, lying on the, actually hit her head, concrete down. Be killed, hit your head the wrong way.
Absolutely. And what was one last question, sir, what was your opinion of the actions of the police, the DC police, during this event?
Well, I didn't even see them doing anything, there were a lot of police cars lined up along the street, maybe 7 or 8, but I didn't see any police anywhere. But there was some there, but they weren't doing anything outrageous.
We tried to go through, but they would not let us go through. They were locked arm in arm. It seemed like maybe 1 or 2 deep, definitely 1 deep. And so I turned to the right to go out, hoping that I would find, someone that I would be able to get. Someone would be kind enough to let me out. It seemed as though, as I was going down this right-handed direction, that now the crowd, which was lined up against the wall, started to push against me. As this was happening, I could also see that there were police out in the street. And the thing that amazed me was there were some gentlemen that were locked arm in arm, shouting in my face. People behind us were shouting. As I was calling, the police never looked over towards us. They just stood there, and there were plenty of police. I counted at least 3, probably about maybe 75 feet away from me, maybe 80 feet or 100, but it wasn't too far away. They didn't even bother to move there. And one guy was dressed in a dark gray uniform with a baseball cap and the army boots, black army boots, just wandering around, and I just could not believe that the police would not do anything to help Dodie to get an ambulance. And then as I walked away, there was another lady who was hurt, and I don't know what happened, how that incident happened, but it took at least 10 minutes for an ambulance to come. Ambulance never came for Dodie, but it took at least 10 minutes for an ambulance to come for this other lady. I'm just absolutely appalled.